With temperatures across Alabama dropping as this week goes on, many dog owners are asking, how cold is too cold for your dog? We verify.
Winter weather can be dangerous for our four-legged friends, and with all the conflicting advice out there, you might be confused about when it's safe to let your dog outside. So at what temperature is it too cold for dogs? Let's verify. Our sources are the American Veterinary and Medical Association, Fetch.com, and Chewy Pet Health. Here's what we found. According to the American Veterinary and Medical Association, dogs should be kept inside during cold weather. The belief that they're more resistant to cold than us humans because of their fur is untrue. According to Fetch, when temperatures drop to 45 degrees or below, small or medium-sized dogs with thin coats may be at risk. Puppies, seniors, and dogs with health conditions may feel uncomfortable. At 32 degrees, Chewy says most dogs begin to be at risk for cold-related health problems like hypothermia and frostbite. When it hits 20 degrees or lower, Fetch says all dogs are at higher risk. Even breeds that usually handle cold well, like huskies, need close monitoring and limited time outside. But it's not just about the thermometer. Your dog's individual characteristics matter too. Dogs with thick, double coats are better equipped for cold weather, while thin-coated breeds like greyhounds and chihuahuas may be affected more quickly. The size of your dog also matters because smaller dogs tend to lose body heat faster. The American Veterinary and Medical Association notes that dogs with diabetes, heart disease, kidney disease, or hormonal imbalances may have difficulty regulating body temperature and are more susceptible to extreme temperature. So how do you know when your dog is too cold? Watch for the warning signs. If your dog is shivering, whining, slowing down, or lifting their paws off the ground, it's time to bring them inside. These behaviors tell you your dog needs warmth. If your dog shows signs of hypothermia, like extreme tiredness, confusion, stiff muscles, or a weak pulse, or if you suspect frostbite, call your veterinarian right away. Veterinary experts offer some simple tips to keep your dog safe in cold weather. Limit outdoor time when temperatures drop below freezing. Even for quick potty breaks, don't leave them out longer than necessary. Consider a dog coat or sweater for small, short-haired, or older dogs. And always provide shelter from wind and moisture if your dog has to be outside, though the AVMA recommends keeping pets indoors during cold weather. Remember, if it's too cold for you, it's probably too cold for your dog. A little caution in the cold can go a long way toward keeping your best friends safe and healthy.
If you have something you want us to verify, text us at 256-382-2692.
You're gradually going to notice an increase in the cloud cover heading throughout the rest of this morning and into the afternoon. We've got our first of two systems that we're watching that's going to be moving throughout the next couple of days, and this one is going to be bringing rain later this afternoon into tonight and even through the early morning hours for Tuesday. So this is just going to be a cold front that brings precipitation. So just plain rain is going to be coming out of this first system. You can already kind of see the increase in the cloud cover here. This is looking outside Memorial Parkway. So if you aren't seeing clouds at the moment, they gradually are going to move west to east. So increase in cloud cover is likely throughout the rest of the afternoon if you haven't already seen the clouds move in. 53 right now in Florence, 51 in Pulaski. We're sitting at 52 in Huntsville. 51 degrees down in Coleman right now. Fort Payne currently sitting at 46. Scottsboro sitting at 49 degrees. So we'll start to see that rain move in sometime during the later half of the afternoon. This is looking right around 2 o'clock into the 3 o'clock hour. So as we get ready to head home from school, some of us could see a wet commute, but really we're just going to be focused on the northwestern side of the Tennessee Valley, really along and west of I-65 to start to see that rain move in. But of course, it's going to become more widespread heading into about the 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock hour this afternoon. So as we get ready to head home from work, so the evening commute is looking like it's going to be mostly wet for us across the Tennessee Valley. Now we'll continue to see rain throughout the 7 o'clock hour tonight and even into the later half of this Wednesday, looking ahead into early Thursday morning as well. But the rain will gradually start to taper off once we get into the later half of Thursday morning. Now we could see a few isolated showers still lingering around, especially our more southern areas, especially Coleman County, Marshall County might be seeing some rainfall still early tomorrow morning. But by the afternoon Thursday, but we're going to start to dry out. So for tonight, low 40s will continue to sit under a cloudy sky. Throughout the day tomorrow, it looks like high temperatures will be warming into the low 50s. Some of us could continue to sit in the upper 40s, and we'll start to see those clouds decrease throughout the day tomorrow. So by the afternoon, expect to see some sunshine. Now we've got weather impact alert days in place for both Saturday and Sunday. This is going to begin right around midnight Saturday, last until about midnight on Sunday. This is due to the fact that we are going to be seeing some form of wintry precipitation falling throughout that window. Right now, it looks like it's going to start extremely late Friday night on the western side of the Tennessee Valley, becomes more widespread Saturday, and some of this could turn into freezing rain. That's looking like that's going to be the biggest possibility as of right now. And of course, we could see a little bit of snow mixed in, but for right now, it looks like we are going to be dealing with freezing rain. And now we do have a winter storm watch that's in effect. Notice how far west and even eastward it stretches, pretty much all the way through central Texas up into the Carolinas. And this might be extended even eastward as the system progresses throughout the next couple of days. So all of this is for the entire Tennessee Valley. Like I said, winter storm watch. This is going to go into effect Friday evening until Sunday night. This is due to the fact that we could see some form of wintry precipitation. Now, I will tell you, we're starting to get new model data that's coming in from the European model, which is usually the more reliable this far out in advance. And I can tell you what it looks like is happening right now is we're starting to see that low pressure lift a little bit more northward, meaning we might not see as much frozen precipitation as what we were expecting the past couple of days. Now, we definitely will see some sort of mixing heading into Saturday and even into Saturday afternoon. But majority of this looks like it could be coming in the form of rainfall, but we will see those scattered areas of frozen precipitation. We're really going to be watching the western side. So I would say probably along and west of I-65. Those are the areas that we're going to be focused on the most for this frozen precipitation to come. So we're not expecting to see freezing rain throughout Friday, and it looks like it's going to be coming on Saturday, majority of it. So I do think that this particular model is overdoing it a little bit, but this looks like the most likely scenario heading into this weekend. And like I mentioned, areas along and west of I-65 looks to be the biggest issue for frozen precipitation, so frozen rain. And now, because that low pressure system is starting to lift more northward in our forecast models, we're not expecting to see any type of snow out of this, snow accumulation. Now, you might see a few snowflakes mixed in with the freezing rain and maybe even a little bit of sleet, but any snow accumulation doesn't look like it's going to be occurring here across the Tennessee Valley. So your 7-day forecast looks like this. We're going to get through the next couple of days together, but I would say by tomorrow, that's when our greatest knowledge is going to be coming into play of we could probably give you timing, what type of precipitation that we're going to be seeing, maybe even future road conditions, as well as areas that look like they're going to see more accumulation than others. So tomorrow is when we're really going to be able to fine tune those details that everybody is wanting to know and get a better idea and timing and what exactly we are going to be dealing with heading into the weekend. So for today, it looks like it's just going to be rain, so about a 70% chance for rain. This looks like it's going to be beginning sometime afternoon into the afternoon, last throughout tonight and even into early Thursday morning. That's why we've got that 30% chance for rain for mainly, I would say, before lunchtime on Thursday. Now, we'll start to see those clouds decrease throughout the day on Thursday as well. And then heading into Friday, the day on Friday is going to be completely fine. Friday night, that's when we could start to see a little bit of that rain mix into a little bit of frozen precipitation. So freezing rain, potentially a little bit of sleet is what we're going to be focused on Friday and into Saturday and Sunday. That's why we've got weather impact alert days in place for both Saturday and Sunday. Majority of the frozen precip that we're going to be seeing looks like it's going to be coming on Saturday, will linger into Sunday, but notice those temperatures on Sunday. We're not getting above freezing at all until we get to about Tuesday of next week. High temperatures only expected to reach the mid-30s by Tuesday of next week, so any type of precipitation that we see for this weekend and into Monday of next week. It could become frozen throughout the overnight, so we'll have to focus on that heading into the next couple of days as well.
Did you know that you can get weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus? Here's how. Go to Fox 54 Plus on your Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, or Samsung. Once you're on the main screen, push the down arrow and click on the Fox 54 Plus Weather Impact 24/7 block. Here, you'll find radar, current temperatures and conditions, traffic cams, forecasts, and more, all available on demand. Want to get back to the main channel? Just push the down arrow and click on the 24/7 stream button. It's your weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus. Start streaming today.
I wish it would stop.
I think we're pushing 20 inches, 21, 22 inches.
Residents in upstate New York digging out after a lake-effect snowstorm dumped more than 20 inches amid brutal winter weather.
We're going to get it for 24 hours straight for sure.
That lake-effect snow causing whiteout conditions, authorities responding to multiple crashes on Interstate 90 involving roughly 60 vehicles over a 6-mile stretch of highway. Officials said there were multiple jackknife tractor trailers as well as passenger vehicles that were struck. Authorities had to divert traffic and shut down all westbound lanes of the interstate. The brutal winter weather is set to get worse for many, with the most extreme winter storm so far this season forecast to slam the eastern half of the U.S. with damaging ice and heavy snow. The storm, fueled by a blast of Arctic air, is set to hit the Midwest and Plains Thursday into Friday, then spread into the south and east this weekend. Communities in the storm's path are bracing for snow, sleet, and freezing rain, a dangerous wintry mix that could stretch more than 1,000 miles from Oklahoma and northern Texas to North Carolina and Virginia by Saturday night.
Salt shipment is very important. We were starting to get low from all we've had, and there are so many different places that's using salt right now, especially up north. It's getting kind of hard to get.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
No, never too soon to worry about the weather. I can tell you we, had the whole team ready this past weekend.
Governor Brian Kemp spoke with us at the state capitol and says last weekend's middle and south Georgia snow was a good dress rehearsal for what could happen in North Georgia this weekend. But agencies like GEMA and GDOT say we're still too far away to know what that winter weather is going to look like, and until they do, they won't know how to proceed. But that the picture and the forecast should become clearer in the coming days and hours. Either way, Kemp says they'll be ready.
But we're already looking at next weekend. We'll be prepared, treating roads, having teams ready. Hopefully we get snow and not ice. But Director Lamb, the rest of our team is on it.
I'm helping NATO, and I've until the last few days when I told them about Iceland, they loved me. They called me daddy, right, last time. A very smart man said, he's our daddy. He's running it. I was like running it. I went from running it to being a terrible human being. But now what I'm asking for is a piece of ice, cold and poorly located, that can play a vital role in world peace and world protection. It's a very small ask compared to what we have given them for many, many decades. I don't know that they'd be there for us. They're not there for us on Iceland, that I can tell you. I mean, our stock market took the first dip yesterday because of Iceland. So Iceland's already cost us a lot of money. So we want a piece of ice for world protection, and they won't give it. We've never asked for anything else, and we could have kept that piece of land, and we didn't. So they have a choice. You can say yes, and we will be very appreciative, or you can say no, and we will remember.
This is about power and control. Donald Trump wants to control the Federal Reserve so that he can manipulate interest rates, interfere with markets, and use our independent government agencies to advance his own agenda.
The question that we have to answer, and the court is going to have to answer, is this. Will the Supreme Court continue to be the symbol of justice the world over, or will it allow Donald Trump, President of the United States, to take control now of the Fed.
The United States economy, it's important for you to know this, relies on an independent Federal Reserve and economic decisions driven by data and evidence, and certainly not Trump's political pressure.
We're just going to have to see what happens with Iran. Is the military option off the table?
The U.S. could be sliding closer toward a military conflict with Iran. On Tuesday night, President Trump issued a new warning, saying if the Iranian military tries to assassinate him, he's left instructions to, quote, wipe them off the face of this earth.
I've left notification. Anything ever happens, we're going to blow the whole country is going to get blown up.
Iran called that bluster and replied with a similar threat against the United States.
Trump knows that if any hand is raised to assault our leader, we will not only cut off that hand, and this is not just rhetoric, but we will set their world on fire.
The increased tension comes as President Trump reportedly asked his team for, quote, decisive military options. The U.S. is deploying an aircraft carrier and additional air defense systems to the Middle East, including Patriot missiles, moves that could form the basis for a broader military buildup that would enable a strike on Iran. A growing number of Democrats on Capitol Hill say any action against Iran would need to be approved by lawmakers, but they're willing to work with the administration and hear all options.
Any military action needs to come before Congress, so if he has any proposals, I know that many colleagues would be interested in hearing that.
Iran's foreign minister doubled down on tough talk Wednesday, saying if his country is attacked, they will fire back. In Tel Aviv, Trey Yingst, Fox News.
Researchers analyzed data from over 280,000 adults who sought treatment at the Mayo Clinic between 2018 and 2023. These patients completed surveys about their social and economic factors in their lives and underwent evaluations of their cardiovascular health. Instead of only looking at whether people developed heart disease, researchers focused on their cardiovascular age, which is how old a person's heart and blood vessels look compared to what one would expect given their actual age.
People who reported higher levels of financial stress had more advanced cardiovascular age.
Dr. Lena Wen was not a part of the research, but says the study shows financial stress tended to increase heart aging at a rate that was similar or greater than other risk factors like high blood pressure and diabetes.
We also have to think about the issue of compounded risk factors, which is that somebody could have high blood pressure and they also have financial stress. That person now has two significant risk factors for worse cardiovascular health.
Certified financial therapist Rick Kaler says people with financial stress need to separate the numbers from the emotions.
We need to slow down the nervous system. Trying to solve a money problem when I'm flooded and I'm in fear and panic often backfires.
Once those feelings have subsided, Kaler says work on one small financial action at a time.
Just making a call, researching one thing, rather than feeling you've got to tackle the whole problem.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Extreme weather, canceled blood drives, and the highest respiratory illness levels in more than 25 years have delivered a devastating blow to the nation's blood supply.
We are experiencing a severe blood shortage.
Dr. Courtney Lawrence with the American Red Cross says the organization's blood inventory across the U.S. has come down by about 35% over the past month alone. That blood goes to patients during emergencies, surgeries, or during childbirth. It's also given to people with blood disorders like sickle cell disease and to those being treated for cancer.
Blood is extremely important for hospitals to be able to provide life-saving care for patients.
Platelet donations as well as all blood types are needed, but especially type O, which is the universal blood type, and A and B negative blood types. Donors can search by zip code for a nearby blood drive on redcrossblood.org. Donation appointments can also be made by calling 1-800-RED-CROSS or through the organization's app.
If you're feeling well, if it's safe for you to travel in your weather, we really rely on you on coming in, donating blood, and helping support patients in need.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Sabrina Carpenter is returning as a performer at this year's Grammy Awards. She's up for 6 trophies, 4 of them including Song and Record of the Year for Man-Child. Carpenter's first Grammys performance was last year when she won 2 trophies. The 68th Grammy Awards take place February 1st.
Tell us what you know, or what MI5 can kill you and make it look like a stroke.
Steel is a tense, high-stakes thriller, but Archie Madekwe says star Sophie Turner kept things lighthearted on set.
Sophie did a great job of that because you're inside, you're in a studio, you're having no natural daylight, and every morning Sophie would come in, whoa, with a big speaker. Come on, guys, let's get it going.
You also learned that as well.
And so she did a really good job of like keeping morale up and like making everybody feel just excited to be at work.
All 6 episodes of Steel are now streaming on Prime Video. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniels.
And this is the Mercy Capital Court, a judicial system powered by artificial intelligence.
Hold on, just wait a second.
A police officer played by Chris Pratt must prove he is innocent of murder against an AI judge played by Rebecca Ferguson in Mercy.
Your guilt must fall below the 92% threshold, or you will be executed in precisely 90 minutes.
Role meant Pratt, well known for his physical action roles, had to stay seated for the better part of the movie.
Being constrained and trapped in a location was different for me, and not being able to use my hands or feet, being essentially confined to this apparatus that will kill me at the end of this 90-minute ticking clock. It was a real challenge for multiple reasons.
I need to find out who killed my wife.
It's a classic crime of passion, Chris, and it all points right at you.
Quite the opposite for Kaylee Reese, who traverses the near-future Los Angeles on a quadcopter in the film.
When I read the script, I had no idea what it looked like, and just to have that is an essential part of this 90 minutes too, because it's probably the fastest way to find information that she needs to find.
You honestly think that I killed my wife, or were you just programmed wrong?
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
There's something really impactful about walking on the same floorboards as Franklin when you're also thinking a lot about what he was thinking about. He provides a really great blueprint for diplomacy, working across difference, which I think is really important, especially with sort of world events today. So being in the building that he lived, thinking about those things as I'm applying them to my life at the same time is really special.
Benjamin Franklin arrives in London as a celebrity. He's well known among scientific circles, which means he has a way into lots of dinner parties, social clubs, societies. He makes friends with a lot of very influential figures in the 18th century during this time, not just in London, but around the UK as well. So he travels a lot to Scotland, Birmingham. He goes for walking holidays in the Lake District. And he builds up lots of circles, scientific circles, political circles, social circles as well.
The glass harmonica is invented by Franklin while he lives in the house, and it's something that he's really proud of. He enjoys showing it off to people, and it's partly because it is both a musical instrument, but sort of an Enlightenment musical instrument. So it's based on scientific theories. So he enjoys showing it to people scientifically and also musically.
Here my name is Vitka, and this is my very intelligent cow, Veronica.
Veronica has been using tools for 9 years. She started using tools as an innovation, her own discovery, by picking up branches, fallen branches of trees and scratching herself with them. But during these 9 years, she has developed this fantastic technique. So she was using this as a multi-purpose tool. And this is impressive because the only solid example that we know of multi-purpose tool in nature comes from chimpanzees of Congo. There are around 1.5 billion of cows and bulls in the world, and we are only now starting to recognize that they are able to use tools. And this is shocking to us, even for us, people who dedicate their lives to study animal minds and tool use.
For the National Western Stock Show, this ain't their first rodeo, and after 120 years, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
This year, we will have in excess of 15,000 animals through the doors.
Senior Director of Event Operations Kevin Bode has been with the stock show for 18 years.
The first year, I kind of wondered what I'd done to myself, but it gets into your blood.
It takes a well-oiled machine to prepare the huge space here. Each and every animal needs mulch in their pen for bedding and for them to do their business. All that bedding becomes waste material, and it's all recycled using local companies, eventually turning it into bagged compost.
And those bags are all sold to local retailers, so it's very possible that if you're purchasing gardening materials come springtime, you might be getting some of the waste materials that were generated during stock show.
A few years ago, every rancher was responsible for putting down their own bedding, and they'd often put down too much. Now, they have a new method.
We happen to be the only venue in the country that we're aware of that actually uses this process.
They use a special truck to put a uniform layer of bedding down for each rancher before they arrive, reducing their waste material from about 2,500 tons per year to about 1,600.
Now, the stock show ends on Sunday, and these are the stockyards. They have so many pens and so much waste material that Kevin tells me it could take them until mid-March to clean it all up.
And they also make sure our rivers stay clean by diverting storm drains into the public sewer system.
That way, any of the waste material that happens to be getting in there gets flushed through and actually goes through the sanitary services.
Taking care of the land we live on. No ifs, ands, or buts.
I think if you look, you'll find that the ag industry is one of the best stewards when it comes to being environmentally friendly.
Did you know that you can get weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus? Here's how. Go to Fox 54 Plus on your Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, or Samsung. Once you're on the main screen, push the down arrow and click on the Fox 54 Plus Weather Impact 24/7 block. Here, you'll find radar, current temperatures and conditions, traffic cams, forecasts, and more, all available on demand. Want to get back to the main channel? Just push the down arrow and click on the 24/7 stream button. It's your weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus. Start streaming today.
Fox 54 Plus has your news, sports, and weather. Start your evening with Fox 54 at 5:30, delivering the latest headlines and live reports straight from the scene. Then, stay informed with Fox 54 News at 9, featuring your Tennessee Valley certified most accurate weather impact team, tracking everything from tornado threats to traffic delays during severe weather. Fox 54 Sports Extra brings you more of what sports fans crave, with deeper insights, expert analysis, and all the action that matters most. On Fox 54 Plus, you'll also find Alabama politics, plus 24/7 weather radar and real-time forecasts to keep you ahead of the storm. Looking for a quick recap? Don't miss Fox 54 Week in Review, highlighting the biggest stories of the week. Jumpstart your morning with Morning Rush. Fast-paced news updates, featured with uplifting stories from across the globe. Get your entertainment fix with Getting Real, where we break down movie reviews, top 10 lists, and spotlight the newest film. Die Hard fan? Locked On Sports dives deep into the Crimson Tide, the Tigers, college rivalries, and pro action. True Crime Warrior Style? Killer Cases brings you gripping real-life stories that stick with you. Hungry for more? Cooking with Style serves up mouth-watering recipes that are easy to make and impossible to resist. From movie previews before you head to the theater with Take a Look to must-know headlines from across the region and around the world with In the News. Watch all of these shows on demand and also on the Fox 54 News app, available on Android and iOS devices, streaming 24/7.